Hello everyone, and you're watching Necrostevo's 13th narrated Wi-Fi battle. This is a battle I had against someone on the Cerebi Wi-Fi chat room, the IRC chat there. Good battle. He asked that his name not be revealed, so I'm not going to do that, but he used some interesting Pokemon, so I thought I'd narrate it and let you guys see a few new things used, and I'm also using some new Pokemon. I start out with my Staraptor, and I switch out after the Intimidate, expecting the Ice Shard, even though Intimidate lowered his attack. I didn't really want to take that. But he goes for the Thunderbolt, so now that I know he's more specially based, he could still carry the Ice Shard if he's mixed. But why risk it? Miltank is a physical wall, great HP, great defense, good speed. This one has Stealth Rock, a Milk Drink, Heal Bell, and Body Slam. So I just set up the Stealth Rocks because from the team preview I saw he had a couple things that wouldn't like them very much. Plus on this team I have Mandibuzz that can force him to switch around. He goes for the Garchomp. And again, this is a physical wall, but I take that pretty well. I see the damage from that, and I notice that I can kind of stall him out with Milk Drink some. I was hoping, actually, that he would miss eventually. Had I been using Hydro Pump, I probably would have missed one or two. But he hits several times in a row there, so good on him. Here he hits again, and I think I just go for the Milk Drink one more turn. And I did notice that eventually, in my experience, he's going to get a critical hit if I stay here and do this too long. So after this turn, I believe, I start going for the Body Slams, hoping for the Paralysis. This Miltank actually doesn't have any attack EVs, and Miltank has a decent attack stat. But he hits another Hydro Pump, but here I start trying to get that Paralysis. Lapras doesn't carry any natural recovery outside of Rest normally, so now they can get Hydration from the Dream Roll, so they can use that in conjunction with Rest and Rain Dance, but I'm just going to keep Milk Drinking up, and now I'm going to start Body Slamming before he gets a critical hit. I did stall him out of a good bit of his Hydro Pumps there. The max it can have is 8. Here he goes for the Sheer Cold, but since we're both at level 100, that has about a 30% chance to hit or something ridiculous. So it's very unlikely to hit. He goes for the Psychic here. I didn't really expect that, and that does a huge chunk because he got a crit. So now that I've seen pretty much all of his moves, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Sheer Cold, and Psychic, I'm okay to switch or just go for the Body Slams, hoping for the Paralysis. I still don't get the Paralysis. He's still going for the Sheer Cold, and we haven't even switched from our leads, ladies and gentlemen. So Miltank is kind of just sitting in here. This Miltank does have Thick Fat, so if he had the Ice attacks, that's another reason I switched it in there. Because Thick Fat cuts down on damage from Ice and Fire attacks, just like you had a resistance to them. He finally misses the Hydro Pump there, which is fantastic. That either was his last one or maybe his next to last, somewhere in there. So here he finally switches out. He brings in his Garchomp. And after seeing that on the team preview, I got a little bit worried because I did kind of grab a bunch of random Pokemon, so I wasn't really sure what I could do for it. But I did go for the Body Slam. I was hoping for the Paralysis since I used it on the Switch. 30% chance of Paralysis. I didn't get it a single one of those times. But here he just goes for the Outrage, and I was wondering how well Miltank could take this because I was near 75% HP, physical wall Miltank. I take that really well, live it with 69 HP. I went for the Body Slam one more time, hoping for the Paralysis. Don't get it. Unfortunato. I have about a fifth of my HP left there. I know I can go into my Durant, Exo-Zarina, which is kind of Exoskeleton plus Zarina, which is a female Zar, and I knew I could resist the Outrage pretty well. Since Durant is one base speed point faster than Garchomp normally, I knew I could outspeed it, or even go for the Own Claws. But they'll just go for the attack there, hoping to either flinch him or just take him out. He barely lives, but he flinches, and he gets the Confusion. So that worked out pretty well. But here I just go for the X-Scissor, and I miss because of that Hustle ability. 20% chance to miss unless you use the Own Claws. And he breaks through the Confusion. Hits me with an Earthquake. I don't resist that, and Durant has really poor defenses, even though he's a Steel type. So Durant didn't really put on a very good showing right there. It probably would have been wiser to go for the Own Claws, and since he was locked into Outrage anyway. But here I just bring my Hitmontop, fake him out. Even if he swapped out, that would have been free damage on something. So that worked out. Knock out that Garchomp. His Garchomp is down. His Lapras doesn't have very much HP, especially when he's switching back into the Stealth Rocks. He brings out a Samurai. Now you'll notice that he's at 98 HP there. He's like me. We both were kind of trying to train up our Pokemon at low 100. He didn't have very many at low 100, so he just brought that, which is okay. I mean, it kind of balances out since he had a Garchomp, in my opinion. But most Samurats I see are physical, or they at least have Aqua Jet, so I brought out my Falco to intimidate him. And he does go for the X scissors, so that works out pretty well. I saw that he wasn't really, his team doesn't really like taking Brave Birds very much. So I just decided to start Brave Birding everything all over the place, I think is what I do. I either do that or I U-turn. We'll see here. I do. That is what I start doing. And since Lapras does have a great HP stat, but he not going to do anything from that amount of HP. And I get a little recoil there. It doesn't really matter. He brings out Nidoking. I knew I was naturally faster, so I could just go for the U-turn to see if he stayed in or try to go for a double switch or anything. Get a little bit of damage on it as well. Most Nidokings have sheer force, and their attacking move pool is better on the special side. So I knew now was a good time to bring in my special wall, Mandibuzz, which has a great HP stat and really good defensive stats as well. So I could take it even if I was weak against it. This is actually a physical Nidoking. You don't see those very much, but he does still get sheer force boosted on those physical attacks like Ice Punch. But I still take that pretty well, and Mandibuzz's natural bulk kind of shows there. This is an interesting Mandibuzz. I have it holding the red card, so that when it gets hit, it forces the opponent to switch out, and then they'll take entry hazard damage. And then I try to bring it in after KO, and then that way it can Whirlwind on that same turn that suddenly gets switched in, so then double entry hazard damage. But that works out okay here. I go for the Brave Birds, just doing some damage, and he shows me that he has the Revenge, which means I don't need to keep attacking him, because the attack power of that move is doubled if he uses it against me. And I see how much that does, and I notice it's going to do double if I Roost and I lose my Flying type, because then I'll be just Dark. But seeing the damage that I did, I can get a little bit of HP back every single time I Roost, even though he's going to be hitting me super effective without Revenge on the ground. So we get to see a few turns of me kind of Roost-stalling that Revenge, trying to get my HP back up there. And he's just going to keep on going for the Revenge. You see that right there, the amount of damage that I did. Here I Toxic him because I know I can easily take a Revenge when I don't have the Dark type, when I don't do an attack on him. So that's if he just wanted to kind of stay in there and keep going for the Revenge, hoping for the crit on the turn that I Roosted or anything like that. So here I believe I think I Roost for maybe one more turn. So that's, that's exactly what it is. Mandibuzz wasn't interesting to get on Mandibuzz while I'm Roostalling. He's just going to Revenge. Mandibuzz actually was one of the Pokemon that was designed by, I think, James Turner. I know Volibee was. I believe Mandibuzz was as well. So that's interesting. It's not the normal designer there. Mandibuzz, Vanillux, a few of those guys were all designed by James Turner, which is a little bit unusual. But here, now that I finally got to a decent amount of HP, he's going to die in 2 more turns from that Toxic. I know he's going to Revenge. Perfect time to go out into Nightlight. And here he uses an Antidote. Didn't really matter in the long scheme of things. But, I mean, I guess we could have said before the battle no Antidotes, but I just kill him off there. Easy damage right there. Nightlight does very well. And after you've seen him before me using this Gengar with different items, here I do have it with the Life Orb like I should have had it with the other times. So he's going to do a lot better damage here. So he brings out Dragonite. He gets hit by the Stealth Rocks in case he had the multi-scale. I don't know if he had it or not, but I just go straight for the Hidden Power Ice. 4 times effective. Coming from Gengar with Life Orb, that is going to kill the Dragonite, unless it was maybe Max Specialty Defense, Bulky, Yachi Berry. I don't know. None of that matters here because I do just kill it off. So that works out very nicely. Take a little bit more Life Orb recoil. He brings out Nidoking, and I'm thinking the same thing. Let's just go for that Hidden Power Ice, knock it out, no problemo. And he goes for it, and it hits. And the Nidoking's like, no, I must go on. My heart will go on. That silly line aside, but he lives. But he goes for the Mega Horn, so I guess maybe he was just expecting to die. He clicked something random. He could have hit me. I mean, even the Ice Punch would have done more there. And he switches out, which I thought was weird, because now he's going to die when the Stealth Rocks come back in. But I guess he was expecting the Ice attack, so he just switches out into Bastiodon. I went for the Shadow Ball, expecting, in case he did switch, I could still do neutral damage. But maybe that works out, because that does way more than the Hidden Power Ice would have ever done. So, here I switch out, because sometimes those things carry the Metal Burst, which is an attack. It's kind of like Mirror Coat and Counter Combined. He goes for the Ancient Power, probably hoping for the 10% chance to raise all of his stats. I didn't see that coming, per se, but I did know that Hitmontop could take anything that he wanted to do and hit him back with a Stab, Technician, Black Belt boosted Mach Punch. I go for the the fake out there, and I literally did not see his HP bar move. So we both thought that was kind of funny. That may have actually done no damage, literally. And I've seen that before. Multi-skill Dragonites cannot take damage if they resist the move highly enough, and then it does half of a point, and then it gets rounded down. But here he just brings out his last Pokemon, Nidoking, and he dies to the Stealth Rocks. So that was a great match. If you enjoy this, please click that like button. I will be coming out with a new format here in the next couple of days, and I hope you all enjoy it. I would love your feedback, so please subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a great day. All right, y'all.